Hey, Shalom, Mashallah. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kodash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS and honest you brothers doing the work in truth, war sincerity, Salah. Right, yeah, so I was listening to, which got to watch that film, Alita, and at the end of it is a track there's a song by that artist, Dua Lipa, called Swan Song. Right, and I've always been more of a beat man. I like the instrumental, whatever, what have you. But I was like, what does she mean by this is not a swan song? All right, so I looked it up. The term swan song it basically is the final performance or activity of a person's career, right? So that's the song there, the top one. It's a weird video, but I mean that's just Babylon for you. Yes. Oh shit, didn't want to open that. Well, it says the swan song, right, is a metaphorical phrase for a final gesture, effort, or performance given just before death or retirement. Right, it says the phrase refers to an ancient belief that swans sing a beautiful song just before their death, having been silent or alternatively not so musical during most of their lifetime. All right, it says this belief whose act, whose basis in actuality is long debated, had become proverbial in ancient Greece by the 3rd century BC and was reiterated many times in later Western poetry and art. Right? Now, the point that I wanted to get there is a metaphorical phrase for a final gesture, effort, or performance, because it kind of made me think of Esau, for instance, right? Esau's swan song, right, is he's not gonna go out easily. Scripture says that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? The earth has been given into his hand, and he is the ruler of the world at this point, but he's not going to give it up with ease, right? So his last final act, his last acts is to bring about hell upon this earth, right? And at the same time, the Lord is going to be doing certain things as well, right? Using the Esau scriptures talk about the wicked, which is thy sword, right? But also, via the natural disasters, the plagues, as in like the diseases and everything, the pestilences is a better way of putting it, the famine, right? You have Esau with the sword, right? So I mean these last days are truly gonna be horrendous, right? But Esau's not gonna go out easily. Esau's gonna do certain things, right, as his swan song, as his last acts, right? Whilst he has his power, right? It says Revelation 12:12 says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having a great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? Esau knows that, look, man, my time is almost up. So he's going to be doing certain things, man. He's going to start doing certain things. He's going to let the whole world know that he is the devil, right? Because right now people, for some reason, try to debate us about it, starting with the apostles on down, right? But despite this man's track record, but in that day, no one's gonna have an inkling. Rather, everyone's gonna know. Let me put it that way. Everyone's gonna know that this man is the devil, right? So, because he's gonna come down on the people, especially you Jakes, right? But if there's a heathen in his way to get to a bunch of Jakes, then be rest assured that heathen is going out too, right? Because these elites see most of the world as useless eaters anyway, right? But when those Georgia Guidestones say 500 million, right, that they're not considering these elites don't want Jake to be in that number, right? This is Ezekiel 21:9. It says, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished, polished, right? This is what that word furbished there means, right? And if you imagine when you're polishing something, yeah, I'm just polishing it. Are you finished, mate? Yeah, I'm just polishing it off, basically perfecting it, right? And you've been seeing that with his weaponry, but also his bioweaponry. Certain things you see being, happening, you're like, shit, is this even real? I mean, but whether it's rather naturally occurring, but whether it's naturally occurring or not, we all know that these things are sent by the Most High as a scourge upon the earth, right? It says, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? No, is the answer to that question. All right, it says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, right? It says, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. And Esau is the slayer, Esau being the so-called white man. That is his biblical nationality, right? You got the Israelites, who are the so-called Native Americans, so-called Seminole Indians, right? So-called Latin Americans, so-called Negroes, right? And our descendants scattered all over the world, right? So 2 Ezra 15:14 says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, right? And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So in these last days, you're going to be having wars and skirmishes taking place, right? It goes on to say, for they shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their acts, and shall stand in their power. And man shall desire to go into a city, and that's talking about a martial law, right? Where basically you're gonna have roadblocks. The what's the word I'm looking for? For instance, you got these quarantines right now, this whole coronavirus thing, right? People are desiring to go and leave a city, and they are not able to, right? But in that day, that's going to be happening more and more, right? And in the midst of all of these, the people are going to be fighting each other, right? Because they ain't going to have, or goes on to say that, in fact, right? It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, right? For because of their pride, there's a reason why the Lord is doing all of these things, right? You look at them Moabites at the moment; they're a proud people, but they're being brought low, right? And Esau is the proudest, and he's gonna be his end, right? After 1,000 years of slavery, is he's gonna be done away with. Right, and this says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, right, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right, and be rest assured that, these Edomites, right, these low-level Edomites, in that day, they gonna be coming for you, Jakes, man, right, because the scriptures talk about a perpetual hatred, right? Esau's hated us, and it's in his blood, right? And in that day, that's gonna come out, man. The Lord's gonna put the spirit on these devils to come at you, Jakes, right? But once again, it says the wicked, which is the scriptures say the wicked, which is my sword, right? So in these last days, right? I mean, Esau's pulled the wool over people's eyes, but in these last days, everyone's gonna be seeing this man for who he really is, which is the devil. Right, it says Daniel 12, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. Even to that same time, and part of that trouble is going to be coming straight from Esau. Right, once again, there's going to be a whole load of things happening all at the same time, but a good bit of that trouble is coming from Esau, the so-called white man, the devil, right? Says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book, right? So yeah, you're gonna be having concentration camps. You're gonna be having, Esau pushing his martial law, right? It's just gonna be all out hell in these last days, right? But once again, Esau's not gonna go out easily. He's gonna go out with a fight. Right? He's gonna do certain things, right, as a final act of defiance, right? But the Lord has his number. The Lord knows exactly. Let me grab that, right? says Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined. Yes, it says the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right, so the Lord has allocated a moment when this man is gonna be taken down. Right, so this is his bounds, so his beginning and his end. Right, the boundaries of his rulership. That's already been, discussed, not discussed, but it's already been set, and by the Most High, right? This is Jeremiah 30. Actually, I want from 7. It says, I'll read from 6. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. It says, alas, for that day is great, right? So that none is like it. It was echoing the same sentiment as Daniel the 12th chapter, right? It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? And who's going to be bringing that trouble? Esau. Right? Esau's going to be trying to force the chip upon the people. Right? And if you ain't of the elect, you're going to take this chip. You're going to take that chip, which is the mark of the beast, spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter. Right? But the elect, they're gonna be saved now. They're gonna make it. The Lord's gonna give them the strength. The faith, really, is the faith. The Lord's gonna give them the faith. The elect, the faith not to take the mark of the beast. Right? But these are just touching on some of the things Esau's gonna be doing as his swan song, as his, his last act of defiance, right? Before he gets taken down, because he will get taken down. Right, let me just grab this as an example. It's the one that came to mind. It's Revelation 18:10. This is one of the reasons, right? Not 18:10. 11:18. It's just had me think of this one, right? It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath has come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, unto the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Right? And that's just one of the charges that Esau has against him. Right? He's destroyed the earth. So the Lord has basically said he gonna be destroyed. He's destroyed the earth physically. Right? He's destroyed the earth, spiritually. Right? The scriptures say that, there's a perverse spirit, right, that's been mingled on the earth, right? And the Lord, in scripture says it was the Lord ultimately that did it. Right? It says the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit, but who has he used? He's used Esau to do this, right? So while you're seeing trannies and, homos and everything just walking around free, right, but they're freaks, right? There's also Ezekiel 35:5 says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? And this man, Esau, the so-called one, he does not hate blood. Right? This has a perpetual hatred. So from the womb, right, Esau has hated Jacob, right? And he's been killing his. Hey, you look at, for instance, just the small time period, that is, between, during the time of slavery, when just before that, when he came over to the land of the Americas, right? How much blood he was shedding of our people till this day, right? So basically, the Lord saying, look, okay, you did that to my people, so that's going to be returned unto you, right? You read that in Revelation 18:6, says, I forgot how it's phrased. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you. That's the point. Revelation 18:6, reward her even as she rewarded you, right? So everything Esau's done, basically the Lord was saying, look, you did that to my people, so that's gonna happen to you. You've been desiring the blood of my people, so they gonna get your blood, right? It goes on to say, and double unto a double according to our works. And that once, as always, when the scripture's broken down, that double's not a literal double, that's metaphorical, right? It says, and the cup which he hath filled to her double, right? That cup of slavery, right? That's gonna be, you are on one level, we ain't gonna be on level 2. We gonna be on level 3, 4, infinity, man. We gonna get you back on a different level, because we gonna have that spiritual power, right? So I'll just end it there. And yeah, be prepared for what Esau's gonna be doing, right? Be prepared spiritually, because Esau's gonna be doing some stuff in these last days, right? His last hurrah, right? And yeah, so to the next time, I say shalom.